What's up guys, welcome to the Singletrack Cinema, and today we're going to be going over my Specialized Rockhopper Comp 29. So the Rockhopper is classified as a trail bike on Specialized's website, but I think I would talk about it more as a cross-country bike. It has short travel, 100 millimeters, with the short chain stays, hardtail obviously, and a less slack head angle and a less aggressive geometry. We're going to start this bike check up here at the cockpit, and we'll work our way down to the other bits and pieces as we go. So up front we have our Specialized 720 millimeter 8-degree back swept handlebar. It's from the Stout kit set. That's Specialized in-house made, cost-effective component set. I'm not going to say budget because they really are reliable components and they really are really nice. For our shifters front and rear, we have Shimano Acera components. Those are one step above Shimano's just dirt-worthy component sets. They were really reliable. They have that Shimano toughness to them. I haven't had a single problem with them yet. For brakes, we have Texro Shuriga brakes, front and back, both 160 millimeters each. They have plenty of stopping power for everything that I ride in the area here in western Pennsylvania. They work extremely well, extremely reliable. I've ridden them wet, hard, over rough terrain. They haven't failed me yet. So now we're going to take you back to our rear components. Down here by our bottom bracket we have a SRAM front derailleur. Specialized actually did mix components here on their drivetrain setup to help keep costs down. I think it meshes together very well, the components between SRAM and the Shimano rear derailleur that we'll get to later. We have a 2x10 system running right here that I've clearly used and abused quite a bit, and it has not given me any problems. I don't really ever drop chains on this, and I'm riding the rooty trails of western Pennsylvania. It's an extremely reliable setup. The only complaint is when you shift into your lower gears on the big rings, sometimes you'll scrape the chain on this front derailleur. For our crank set, we have another Specialized Stout XC component here. That is, again, Specialized in-house brand. I've had no problems with these cranks. They're pretty heavy. They're just hunks of aluminum, basically. But my goodness, can they take a beating. I've had no problems with them. Scuffed them up plenty, and I still love them. So let's move our way back to the rear mech. So in the back we have a Shimano Alivio rear derailleur. This is probably the highest quality component we have on this bike. Shimano did a really good job with balancing strength and budgeting here. There is the old saying, cost, strength, and weight, pick two. This does a really good job of balancing cost and strength together really well. For our rear cassette, we have a Sunrace 9-speed 1136T cassette. That 36T is not as big as what you would be used to seeing on mountain bikes nowadays, because most of them are running 1x systems. Because we have that 2x system, we can afford to keep that big ring a little smaller, and as a result we get a little cheaper of a drivetrain that functions just as well, if not a little better, on some of the more punchy climbs. Again, we have this hardtail frame with Specialized very short chain stays. That makes the bike very agile, very whippy around corners. And it has this coating on it that Specialized puts in. I do believe most mountain bikes have these nowadays, but it does a really good job of making sure chain slap isn't too ridiculous, it isn't too loud, and it doesn't beat up this nice frame too much. So let's move our way up to the front wheel and the fork. Suspension duties on this bike are handled by an SR Suntour XCR Air fork with 100 millimeters of travel. I know SR Suntour kind of makes people cringe sometimes because it's not really synonymous with high quality like a Fox or a RockShox fork, but I've been impressed with this fork so far. The 32 millimeter stanchions really do a good job of giving you enough stiffness to feel very comfortable on the trail. It does come with preload and lockout both, so you can lock out the suspension for rail trail riding if that's what you're into, and you can adjust your preload so you get that just right amount of sag for you, so you can really maximize that confidence out on the trail. For our brake rotor, we are running that Tektro 160 millimeter rotor. Braking power has never been an issue in any conditions for me. 160 millimeters is plenty for the types of trails that you get out here in western Pennsylvania. Our rims are, again, Stout XC from Specialized rims. They are alloy. They're extremely strong. You can beat the snot out of these rims and they're not going to fall out of true too easily. Our tires are Specialized ground control tires. I believe they actually run the same tire on a lot of their S-Works bikes. So these are extremely high quality tires for this price point. They have this flak jacket technology in them, which really makes them resistant to pinches and punctures, both, especially punctures from thorns. They are not tubeless tires, but can be easily converted to tubeless with the right stance kit. So let's move our way up to the points of contact on this bike. So I love the points of contact on this bike. The saddle and the grips both are specialized body geometry parts. That means they were designed by doctors who work for Specialized to help encourage blood flow and just general lack of numbness, which is just the worst out on the trail. The saddle I've never been uncomfortable in, and I've gone on some pretty long 3-4 hour rides with it. The grips, I have really bad wrists, and they do a really good job of keeping my wrists in the right position to absorb vibration. They're really comfortable, my hands never go numb, and they just make me, with my weak and feeble wrists, feel really confident out on the trail. With our pedals down here, this is the only non-stock component on this bike. I found a used pair of Specialized Benny's pedals. These are just things that you can beat the absolute crap out of pedals. I got them for like $10. Have no complaints about them. For a beginner bike, they're great. They're way better than the stock street pedals it comes with. I would recommend this to anybody getting a beginner bike because you're going to destroy your pedals anyway in your first 2 or 3 rides, so it's easier just to buy them used so you don't feel guilty when you bang them off that first rock. So as you can probably tell from this video, this is definitely a beginner bike. Chances are you found your way to this video because you yourself are looking for a beginner bike. I know that I did a lot of homework when shopping for my first mountain bike, and when I found this, I was just really impressed with the component set and quality of product that Specialized can offer. And on top of that quality component set, you're getting the Specialized name, which is really well known for solid, reliable frames, which is obviously the most important part of the bike. This bike has not let me down yet. From the first ride till now, it's felt exactly the same. I've put in a lot of miles on this bike so far, and I'm just really pleased with it. I know, again, that SR Suntour fork is normally where most people exit out of the page, but I encourage you to give that fork a chance, and if you really hate it, you can upgrade it very easily. We don't have a threaded stem, so it'd be really easy to swap that out if it really bugs you. But this bike has really been great to me. I would recommend it highly to anybody looking for their first mountain bike, and I would recommend to buy it from a local bike shop who will probably cut you a pretty good deal like they did for me as a beginner, especially when they'll offer you packet sets where if you buy a bike, they'll give you discounts on things like your helmet and your gloves and stuff like that. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. This is a brand new channel. I appreciate your support, and I hope that you'll tune in to the rest of our videos here on Singletrack Cinema. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I am super excited to get this channel started with all of you and grow as a mountain biker with the rest of this community. Again, if you like this video, please subscribe, leave me a comment. This has been really fun to make. I look forward to many more great videos with you guys, but until the next one, keep those pedals turning. This has been the Singletrack Cinema.